Yeah, there, as you can see there, a 7-point lead now. But of course, Real Madrid still to play in this game week tomorrow. But this Barcelona side, it really is, again, where they realized it was a rotated side, then realized, okay, we need to win this game. So they did make the right moves. Hansi Flick decides to bring in Rafinha, bring in Lamine Yamal, and it's handle their business. They go, they get the 2 goals, they get the win.
Yeah, unfortunately, they were forced to bring in Lamine Yamal in the first 45 minutes, which is never easy to do because obviously you're on the bench thinking you're going to get a rest, at least until the second half, where the coach says, maybe you'll get 30 minutes. We're preparing you for what's coming up in the Champions League. And then that injury happens and an opportunity is that you're going to throw him out there in the first half and you've got to turn it on. Barcelona are a different team this year. And it's not necessarily just by what they do tactically. It's also the depth that they have. Players who have come into the game trying to have an impression. Great to see Ansu Fati back in there starting, obviously brilliant for him. But in many ways, the team were disappointed to be down 1-0 in this game. I think Lamine Yamal came off the bench and actually changed it because he had a dynamism in him going forward. Every time he got the ball, running against that defense, trying to make it happen. But the team had obviously Ter Stegen back in between the sticks again for the first time. So there was great leadership there, the spine of the team, and tactically it was well set up to get a good performance. It was only a matter of time for me before Barcelona really did get back into this game. But it's unfortunate. Sometimes in these games, you never quite know what to expect. But in some ways, as a champion, you have to find a way to win the nasty ones, the ugly ones. I personally can tell you that being the underdog in my career, playing for a team that was normally in the bottom half of the table, fighting against relegation, I used to love going up against big teams like Barcelona because I used to always try to make it nasty, dirty, slow it down, see if we could win the game by a sneaky goal, try to get lucky. Against this Barcelona team, though, it's a completely different animal this year. They just find a way.
They just find a way. And it really does come down to the mentality of this squad. You could everything that happened today, that having to sub on Lamine Yamal in the first half, having to bring on Dani Olmo, having to bring on Rafinha, that all goes into the mentality of this team and the mentality of Hansi Flick to not be scared. It doesn't matter if you're down a goal, you make the right decisions and right moves to get a win. And they seem to do that on a week-in, week-out basis where even if they go down, they're not worried. And that really goes to the mentality of not only the players, but it starts with Hansi Flick.
Yeah, put this one on social media. Mentality monsters. That's what this Barcelona team is. They have mentality like no other team that I've seen in European football this season. We have witnessed a number of teams be competitive and entertaining this season, but it's not been the best quality around the top 5 European leagues. You've seen Liverpool pretty much dominate in the early part of the season. Very entertaining, very dynamic. Obviously, the way they ran away with the Premier League was incredible to watch. PSG have been very dynamic. Great mentality, obviously, going into 2025. At one point, the most entertaining team in European football. But if you look at consistent through the whole season,